Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly Astroflower going from the 20th to the 26th of March. We're going to be going into Chakras, your aura, and also doing your tarot. Let's just connect to the energies that are around us. Connect everything. There you go. Lovely. It's flowing through very nicely now. That's actually quite beautiful. Open the doors to the Astroflower man so we can get into your chakras. I have done an equinox collective reading and also your individual reading. Thank you very much for being here with us. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell so you get notifications for all future videos going forward. YouTube are not really helping us out, so all of your support would be most appreciated. Right, let's get straight in here with your chakras. Let's just see what's going on. Here we go with your root chakra. It's certainly pulling. Now, another sign was doing this as well. I think maybe even two other signs were doing this as well. You're pulling on your root chakra here. So there's several possibilities for this. Either your your vision is a little bit too narrow. You need to lift your head and look up and around and look at the other possibilities and stuff like that. Or you haven't got enough definition on your desires, basically, of what you want to live in life. Excuse me, I've got an itchy nose. So yeah, that could be another sort of thing. It could also be that you're this is another possibility, because this is a general reading. It could also be that your route or your path of what you're living is actually now feeding your desires. So you've almost got this perpetual sort of motion going on within you, that's, even if you're not sort of feeding your desires, they're being fed all by themselves. That's also one possibility for you. Okay, but apart from that, it does actually seem very well defined, really nice, and the flow is really quite beautiful as it flows back up into the rest of your energies. Let's just see what's going on in your sacrum. So this is large. Okay, you might have bitten off a bit more than you can chew. So your eyes are bigger than your stomach. But it lacks a little bit of definition. And this is what I was talking about earlier on. Maybe there's not a lot of definition of what you for your essential desires or your fundamental desires. So just sort of saying I want a car is all very well, but you'll end up with maybe not the best car that you really wanted. I think you need to define it a little bit more, saying I'd like a Ferrari. If not, if you're going to ask for a car, you might as well ask for, I guess, I personally am a Citroen DS from the 1970s. Like sex on wheels it is. Yeah, I think you need a little bit more definition in accordance to your desires, to give them a bit more sort of precision. Because when you put it out there, if you're more precise as you put it out there, there's more chance that this is what you're going to get back. Okay, and it could be engluting the system at the moment. That flow that's coming back up from the root chakra, it might be working a little bit harder than it actually has to, because there's not enough definition. So if that's the case for you, I would certainly take time out during the day just to give a little bit more sort of clarification and definition to your yearly desires, or your long-term goals. These are long-term fundamentals within you. Okay, and I say long-term, could be anything from a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year, 10 years, 20 years. Not just what do you want today, basically. Yeah, so it needs a little bit more sort of definition. There is a lot more, there is more energy coming through on the material side, financial sort of side, jobs, business, and that sort of thing. So it seems like you're concentrating on this. We'll see this in the tarot reading. We'll see this on this side here. Yeah, I think there's much more sort of desire on that sort of side of things. Let's just see what's going on in your solar plexus. spits and spurts. You may pass the week sort of like, you may get that sensation there's moments that you are on fire. You are nailing it. Yeah. And then there's nothing. And then you're nailing it again. And then there's nothing. That's the sort of thing. It's very intermittent, your solar plexus at the moment. It is feeding the here and now nicely. So, you are concentrated on what you're doing, where you're going. You're putting your passions into your relationships and also into your sort of financial sort of side of life. Applying yourself in the here and now and being passionate when you're with people or when you're doing something within your work. But as I say, it is intermittent, and maybe that intermittency is a good way to sort of just slip in a little bit of pleasure for yourself. Taking time out so you can get that work play ethic and sort of balanced out a little bit more. Okay, let's just see what's going on your heart chakra. Yeah, it's nice. It's got a lot going on. Too much going on. This is where the clarity, I think, needs to come into play. With your fundamental desires, say like, I want to eat. And then you have your heart's desire. So what do I want to eat? And here there seems to be a lot of social stuff going on around you. You seem to be connected with a lot of people. You seem to be very busy. Almost preoccupied in a way, but there is a direction. You know where you want to be, but I think you may feel you're going to be a little bit frustrated this week because you haven't got that clarification or that definition on your desires. And if you don't have it on your desires, you just need to take time out, look into your heart with a meditation, and just listen to it. Don't try and sort of calculate it. Listen to what your heart says. It will just pop up the occasional word, the idea of where you should be sort of going. I think you know where you should be going. That's the thing. And I think it's a case here where it might pop up sort of things of you're just being swamped by people that are around you. People seem to be pumping you at the moment, and you're allowing it to happen. That's the thing. You are kind like that. And you allow people to pump you, and I think it's a case here of where you should be saying to yourself, this should be a phrase that should come up, and I think within your relationships, as much within your financial and your business side of life, quality rather than quantity. I think that's what should be your mantra for the week, basically. Quality rather than quantity. That's what it seems like, and because that heart seems to be a little bit fuzzy, a little bit encumbrated, a little bit like the sacrum as well. Let's see what's going on the third eye and the throat chakra. There's a lot of thinking going on. You might be socializing a lot, right? You might be connecting with people, but as you're talking to them, your mind is kind of going, yeah, and that, and that. You're elsewhere. That's where part of it goes into it. This is why maybe why your solar plexus is intermittent, because you're in there, you meet, you see the person, say, oh, hey, how you doing? Yeah, oh, I've been doing this, what have you been up to? Then they start explaining to you, and you're there, and then it just drops out, and you're kind of like, I'm off elsewhere. Okay, I'm back in the room. Sagittarius is back in the room, that sort of thing. It's because there's maybe a little bit too much going on. So I do this tea meditation where in the morning, where you concentrate on, you allow your needs to come through and your wants to come through. Make sure your needs are not too many, or your wants are not too many, rather, on both sides. So things are possible to do today. There's a certain contradiction within yourself here. Going back to the tea meditation, and then you sort of like look at the 7 wonders around the world, and once you've sort of finished your cup of tea, then you sort of shut down things, and then basically your consciousness will know what you've got to do today, and you will just get on to do it without even thinking about it, and it'll give you a certain order in life without having to concentrate too hard, which will leave you that space when you've got that downtime to open up and explore the avenues of your thoughts or your consciousness or the logic that's going through your third eye and your visions, and having that clear, decisive point of direction for you, because you do have it within your heart chakra. That's it. It's just that it's being swamped at the moment. Okay, let's just see what's going on the throat chakra. See what's going on there. Yeah, I think you're content to listen rather than to speak at the moment, and simply because it's like it's almost as if like you're there but you're not there. That's a little bit like that, which could be a good thing for you, depending on it's obviously this is a general reading. Depending on what you're going through, could be a good thing. And it could be also a detrimental thing to you, because that's going to slow you down as well. And you like it when it's zippy, firing, and things are happening and you're doing things. So this is where I think the definition of what you want and how you want things, when you want things and stuff like that, needs to be, put a little bit under the microscope and examine it a little bit within your day. Take 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. That's all you need to do. Not more than that. You don't have to go too deeply into it. Just to give it a slight bit of definition. And I think that will help you to be your fire, get you fired up a little bit more, and make you feel a lot more at ease with where you're going. And it will also help you to sort of just head off in the direction that you're supposed to be doing or supposed to be going, basically. Let's just see what's going on in your crown chakra. Yeah, this is frustration, I think. It's very straight, but it's not badly positioned. It's got a good, got a good amount of energy in it, etc. It's not depressed or, I tend to only see that in personal readings, to be honest, but it's a matter of fact. It's a consciousness as a matter of fact. You're not really up for the fight. You're not really up for, taking people to task or to, holding people to account and stuff like that. You just want to get on with it. You want an easy life by the looks of it. But to have that easy life, this is where the determination, where the definition comes into play. Okay, I think the mantra for this is quality rather than quantity, and it will allow you to explore things in a greater depth as you go forward. Let's just see what's going on in your aura. So, it's coming a little bit later than everybody else. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to do a reading on Sunday because everybody seems to have something that's coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday next week, and I'm just going to have a quick look to see what it's all about. Do a collective reading on that, which you'll have on this channel on Sunday night. But yeah, and it seems to come into you later. It's almost as if, like, because you're not really there, you don't really pay attention to it, and you don't realise that this has happened until like the evening. It might happen on the morning, and then in the evening you're kind of going, really? Did that happen today? Oh man! Oh gee whiz, that's going to affect us like this and like this and like this. But as we go through the week, I think you're going to get, most people have got like a realization that comes in on Friday, Saturday. I think the realization for you is more on Sunday. You seem to be a day in a lieu, day in retard, on a day late, basically, a day late. Is this a good thing, or is it a bad thing? I haven't felt anything nasty. I haven't felt anything as well, sort of kind of going, wow, this is really moving on. I think it's okay. I think everything's okay. But I think you do need to do a bit of housekeeping within yourself, within your own energy. So I would concentrate on that. Meditation, a bit of sport, a bit of activity like going to the theatre or the cinema, or going out for a meal with friends and etc. That seems to be, that needs to come out of you. Some sort of routine needs to be put in place to get you back in the saddle, as it were. Okay, let's just see. Let's see where the flow of the energy is going. I think it's flowing to the connection to everything. So that's between the heart and the sacrum, heart and the solar plexus. which is behind the sternum. That is where your energy connects to everything. That's where it connects to the universe, and your total connection to your energy system is through that point there. It's not for your crown chakra. It's not for your root chakra. People just tend to, copy and paste what they read on Wikipedia, and everyone's repeating the same thing. Just because everybody's repeating it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. So this is where your connection is. And I think you're trying to find this connection with everything it is around you. Don't be so hard on yourself, I think, more than anything else, Sagittarius. Don't be so hard on yourself. Make sure you do get that work play ethic. Right, let's have a look at your chakras, shall we? Your tarots. Here's the overall energy. Here's the karmic messages for your relationship. Karmic message for your material side, relationship, material side. Influence from the universe. This is how the guides are influencing you in the way of coincidences that are around you, almost like your past self. And this is what is the conversation that's going within you, that you're having this conscious conversation. Now, so this is the super subconscious, and this is the subconscious. How you're having conversation when your guides are advising you, and the overall energies of how it sort of comes out of you. Okay, let's have a look at this. Let's see what's going on here. Empress, she's the Empress is can be sometimes depicted as someone being pregnant, waiting for something to happen. And this is what you're in, that mode there. You're in wait and see in a way. It's also a question of marrying the body, mind and soul. So it is trying to connect to everything and get everything in its place at the moment. So this is why this week here, you should be spending time with you, making sure you're in a good place, basically, getting ready to take that next step up. Because there's a huge amounts of potential within you. There's no doubt about it. But there's energy building up within inside you that's not being released. And that could be because of complicated relationships, complicated financial sort of situations. It could be complications generally in life of just having too much on your plate, which I was saying earlier on. I would just, I would free yourself up a little bit, 9 of Swords. Okay, so on your relationship here, this is all about sort of stress and strains and worries and sleepless nights and stuff like that. It's on your karmic message, and it's on your relationship side. So, as I said, I think there is, as I just said it, I think there is a complication within your relationship side that needs to be addressed. And this could be on with your partner. This could also be with your family, your friends. It's the card is also symbolizes of having a nightmare and waking up and living the nightmare. So it's a perpetual in a way. And the karmic message here is do not get into that. I don't think you're actually living that at the moment. What it's saying to you here is sort of saying, get your eyes on the ball, get a bit of definition to your desires, get a bit of quality rather than quantity, and you will avoid this. And this is what your karmic message is to do this week for it. King of Pentacles. Now, this is why I say you've got the huge amounts of potential within your life. The universe here is sort of saying, you've got this. You know how to deal with this. You've just got to deal with it. There seems to be a situation that's repetitive, that's circular, that, it never gets past a single point within your relationships. And the universe is saying, you know how to deal with this. You've just got to go ahead and do it, by the looks of things. Yeah, 6 of Cups. I think this is, as I say, repetitive. It keeps coming back up on the table. And your guys are sort of saying, it's here again. This situation has arisen again. I think it's more of a case of that rather than someone coming in from the past. It seems to be a situation that just keeps going in circles for you. Let's just see what the conversation's all about. What did I say? I said that you sort of almost living in contradiction. And that might be creating a lot of frustration from within you, because you've got this circular situation that's happening here that's gradually gnawing away at your karmic path or your life in with regards to your relationships. But within you, you've still got this optimism that is huge. You've really got these desires, and you're wanting these desires to come through, but you need to give it a bit of, definition. And that's what the King of Pentacles is all about. The King of Pentacles, coming from the universe, is trying to encourage that within you, basically. It's trying to encourage that within you. So, it's stepping up to the plate, basically, Sagittarius. Let's just see what's going on your money side or your financial sort of side of life. Let's just see what's going on there. Playing smart. As I said, I think you were more sort of concentrating on this sort of side. Let's just see what it is. I think, certainly I'd like to see what comes out in petal 9 and petal 10. It'd be very interesting. This week here is playing smart. Don't get involved in situations or taking the sting out of the situations, basically, that are around you, which will make your life a little bit easier, cut you a bit of slack, make your heart a little bit less encumbered, a little bit less swamped, as it were. But the message is playing smart. The universe has got huge amounts of faith in you. You've got the Three of Pentacles here, which is all to do with quality of work. But it's not just the quality of work of you. It's also the quality of the work that is of the people that are around you. And this is where you're playing smart. I think is the universe is trying to tell you here that not everybody that is within your material, in your workspace, is doing good quality work. And I would concentrate on the people that you feel secure about, that you feel that are doing the good quality work for you, or for the business, or for the job that you're working in, or for the project you're working in. That's what the universe is encouraging you to do, just to really start sort of homing in and streamlining things, getting a bit more sort of definition on the whole sort of scenario. Queen of Swords, getting a clarity of vision, going forward, getting the elements at the back. As I say, I think you have a huge amounts of potential here, Sagittarius. You just need to do a bit of housekeeping within you, give you a bit of a pep talk, a bit of a take you by the scruff of the neck, going, come on, Sagittarius, stop messing about. Stop being too kind, or stop being pumped by the world around you. Get on and just concentrate on your path. Keep your eye on the goal. Keep your eye on the goal. That's the name of the game this week. And this is where they're trying to bring in coincidences which will help you to remain on that path as you go forward. Nine of Wands. This is that realization. If you want your dreams, you've got to have healthy boundaries. And those healthy boundaries are the definition that you put on your desires. Quality rather than quantity. Okay? That is really playing smart. It will eliminate this here. You will learn a lot about yourself this week on regards to your relationships. And you just got to go ahead and do it. You're building up to a completely new way of being. It's not quite within you yet. I don't think it's even going to be with you next week. Next week, I think you'll start realizing it, of what the opportunities are and what you can be happening and stuff like that. And it's almost coming in this week as well, at the end of the week, which I said was the realization. And those healthy boundaries there are essential for you if you want to have those dreams and aspirations going forward. There you go. I think it's a case there. You're going to start manifesting it, using that force that is coming in from the universe, coming in from your guides, to put yourself in a position. And to manifest things, you have to be absolutely clear. There's no point in turning around sort of saying, I'd like to be famous. And it could be you were famous because you were knocked off a bridge by a bus and drowned. Obviously not. That's probably not a good thing. But do you know what I mean? It could be a completely hopeless and awful situation that you become famous for, just because you asked to be famous. But rather, you should be sort of saying, I want to be famous, and I'd like to be a singer, famous. I'd like to write my own songs, you know, tour start being a little bit sort of like more sort of defined in how you approach your desires, which is really important. Once you start doing that, once you get that clarification, I think that clarification comes in the way. That is the seeds of the manifestations. The moment it is clear for you, then you can start applying it in the world around you, and that's when you can start manifesting things for you. You've got huge amounts of potential, Sagittarius. Really, really nice. You just need to get onto that quality rather than quantity. Okay? Thank you very much for supporting this channel. Very, very much appreciated. Yeah, as I said, YouTube are not really helping us out, so anything that you can do to help us out would be absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much. In the meantime, Sagittarius, yeah, don't forget, quality, quantity, but don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.